Hello, and on behalf of the Medical Tourism Association and Global Healthcare Resources, I'm pleased to be here to present at this conference. I want to thank Ina, my dear friend and colleague that I've known for years, for inviting me to speak again. COVID 19 has totally disrupted our entire world. It has disrupted every business, every country, every industry, every economy, our professional lives, and our personal lives. And it has taken medical tourism to almost a grinding halt and stop. And this requires us to look at how do we overcome the challenges that we faced over the last year and what we will face over the next 6 to 12 months. We need to be resilient and focus on looking forward to the future. And it depends on who you are. We have seen hospitals and governments who have just stuck their head in the sand, frozen their medical tourism programs, and say, I'm not doing anything until there's a cure, a vaccine, and this has all been resolved with COVID 19. And then we've seen other governments and hospitals continue their existing strategies. We have seen some launch new strategies, pivot, create short term strategies. We have watched medical tourism stop in certain countries with patient flow. We've watched in other regions where medical tourism has actually gone back to pre pandemic levels. Now, there's different shutdowns or quarantines that happen, and that is affected. But it's very interesting to see the different approach and the different effect there is all over the world. And we need to be realizing that this challenge has also created unforeseen opportunities because it's really wiped the chessboard clean. It's wiped the slate clean for medical tourism. And now it's looking at where is an opportunity? Where can I solve a problem? Where's there a gap that I can actually fill? So patients may have new patterns of where they travel. They definitely will in the short term, but could those become long term, disrupting where people in the past had always gone and giving opportunities for new destinations, countries, cities, hospitals to take over past relationships? Because it's not easy to travel as a medical tourist right now. Some countries it's easy. Others, the hospitals or the countries won't let you in. Or you might have to quarantine for 2 weeks, or you might travel and then have to quarantine when you get back to your home country. You might not be able to get a COVID PCR test 72 hours before you fly for certain requirements. So it's been made very difficult for patients to travel. And then you have patients that actually want to travel who can go to that destination without restrictions. And just before they go, they'll panic and they'll be afraid and they'll cancel their trip. And so at the end of the day, we're going to see, I think, the destinations that are the safest, that recover the fastest, that put in the most strict protocols and processes be the ones to open up faster and to receive that pent up demand, because there is pent up demand of people wanting to travel but can't travel or don't feel it's safe. And so we may see patients start traveling regionally. And I think the opportunity is looking at where is there patient flow in the past that has been disrupted, whether it's through patients or referral sources like buyers, facilitators, insurance companies. And there's still that demand, but can your country, can your hospital fill that demand? Are you safer than that destination? Do you have better processes and protocols in place? There has also been a lot of innovation in the industry. Global Healthcare Accreditation, which is the leading accreditation agency for hospitals for medical tourism around the world, launched a COVID 19 certification for hospitals and clinics to show that they have the protocols in safe to safely deal with medical tourism patients during the pandemic. They also have a certification for hotels called Well Hotel that shows that hotels have the protocols in place to make it safe during COVID 19 for the patients and families to stay at. It's all about safety and trust. Will someone travel somewhere? They need to see that it's safe. And I think third party accreditation and standards and certifications like Global Healthcare Accreditation is going to make a big difference. Because personally, I travel typically all over the world all the time. And every hotel now is saying, I'm safe. I spray disinfectant. hospitals and clinics are too, is I'm not going to travel unless I'm 100% guaranteed that plane, that hotel, that hospital, whatever they have actually in place and I can verify it. Also, other innovations that are in place, is Pulse, which is a technology platform that considers themselves like the Uber of medical tourism, is a great opportunity because right now you can't go, if you're a buyer, you can't go do hospital site tours. If you're a patient, it's difficult to go to facilities. And Pulse is a platform that brings in the whole ecosystem, all the stakeholders, the hospitals, the doctors, the patients, the facilitators, your referrals into one platform for virtual hospital site tours, second opinions, and video consults, being able to get quotes from hospitals and interact all in one ecosystem. And we need platforms like that, like virtual tech platforms or virtual conferences like Ina is hosting here today with her association. These are very critical during this time so we can share the challenges we're facing, come together with solutions and opportunities. And it's important to stay optimistic. It's not always easy to be optimistic during a global pandemic that's really negatively affected a lot of businesses. But if you're not optimistic, if you're not forward looking, you'll miss the opportunities. You'll only see the negative, and you've got to focus on the positive. And what we're also seeing is we're continuing to work with governments and hospitals in different regions around the world on very specific projects. So, new projects, existing projects, creating new strategies, pivoting strategies, looking at short-term relationships, creating new partnerships that didn't exist before. There is opportunity out there if you seek it out. And I think it's more important than ever as an industry, rather than us all sitting it out and being siloed, we look at what the barriers are and we say, how can we all come together and break down these barriers? And we also look at how do we make medical tourism more sustainable? Because at the end of the day, this industry is not going away. People need high quality healthcare. And I think what we've seen with the pandemic around the world is how all the different healthcare systems deal with it and how they have recovered or not recovered or have these resurgences. And this shows that people are going to constantly seek out the best quality healthcare and that you never know what healthcare system has the best solutions in place. And so there will be tremendous pent up demand. And where will that pent up demand go starting in a couple months? And what solutions will there be with technology, which I think will lead with whether people are safe to travel? There's a lot of talk of the technology in the passports of saying, I have my COVID test and I'm negative, or I've been vaccinated and I can show proof of it. And so it's safe to travel to another country for healthcare. But there's also the stories out there of travel agents selling fake COVID negative tests. And you really have to look at what technology are we going to trust or implement for medical tourism to help it resume. But at the end of the day, events like this are great because we can't just sit back in our homes or in our offices closed off, waiting for someone to hand us the solution until it's okay to do the business again. We need to look at it now. And I think now is the opportunity, if you're a healthcare provider, to be going out and trying to meet with buyers that may have been disrupted from this and see if there are solutions there, or what can you do creatively or uniquely that no other organization is doing now or will do in the future. And also realize how important it is not to have short-term strategies, but long-term strategies so that you can weather any storm, any challenge, any pandemic. So I hope everyone really has a great conference. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to present today.